And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Kasarian, and welcome back to Minecraft. Alright, what are we working on today? We're doing some power upgrades. And that's going to mean that we're making a capacitor bank from EnderIO. Now this is a multi-block, which is actually wicked useful. So I've already been cooking up some electrical steel, which is pulverized coal, silicon, and iron. Coal, coal dust, pulverized coal, or coal powder from EnderIO will all work. Silicon's pretty simple. I ended up chucking just some sand in here and getting some silicon out. It's a 50% chance. So, what do we have to do? Well, first of all, we need some of these capacitors, alright? Now, the capacitors, the double layers, are using energetic alloy, which I also happened to make up some of. You can see energetic alloy. Just some glowstone, gold, and redstone, alright? And that's also what's used to make the second tier of energy conduit. So if we do that... Oh, we don't quite have enough. We need another 16. Alright, well that shouldn't be an issue. We'll just get some of this, and some glowstone, and some redstone. There we go. And then we should just be able to chuck it in here. And that'll take some time, but it will cook up. The other thing we are making is not raw uranium. We were making some electrical steel from EnderIO. Now, that's going to go in the corners like that, okay? And then we just need the rest of these double layer capacitors. We need some more coal dust too, by the looks of it. Oops. Jump back out of there. Let's get some more coal powder out. And let's come back over to here. Or here. There we go. Alright, so we have 20... 4 times 4 is 16. We should be able to get that quite easily once this stuff has finished cooking up, which is, of course, going to take forever and a bloody day. Energetic alloy. Buddy. Alright. The other thing that happened, by the way, was that I found some thaumium. And briefly after I found the thaumium, I died, which in lava, and lost my items. So everything that I have on me right now, I actually remade. Okay? And the cool thing about that, what it allowed me to do, is it allowed me to put thaumium on my pick. Okay? Now, what thaumium does is it gives the enchantable quality, or the thaumic quality. And what that lets me do is it actually adds another modifier. So, for example, my pick has an additional modifier on it. Okay? And you can see I am, in fact, farming some cotton down here in my nice new farms. And we'll wait for that to turn. And we also have some potatoes growing down here. Which is always a good thing for me to do. Oops. Done. Okay. And we can put all these guys down. And I may actually make a powered furnace to cook these with, because they actually require significantly less power. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. And that should be good for now. There we go. Alright, so redstone furnaces from thermal expansion actually require huge amounts less power than typical furnaces do to cook the same item. Alright, we're still going. We got another 10 more to do there. While we're doing that, let's actually let's upgrade that stuff over there, okay? And the way we're going to do that is we're going to get an aqueous accumulator. Alright, now these are pretty simple. It's a machine frame, which we should be able to do pretty quickly. So let's start with that. And I should really just get a crafting table moved into this room over here, actually. There we go. let's do this, let's do this, let's do this, and let's do this. We get ourselves some crafting tables, and let's take one of them and turn it into a slab-style crafting station. And what we can then do is that. See? So now we have 2 in one little space. Awesome. Okay, so let's start off. Let's get one of these. We're going to need some tin. And of course, I haven't quite moved this over yet, so let's get some tin. What else are we going to need for this guy? Some more iron. Okay, that's fine. Some glass and some redstone. That's doable. We're going to need some iron for a bucket, and we're going to need some copper gear. So let's get 8 copper out now, too. And we might as well get the rest of that iron out of there. But of course, I'm going to have to go mining again fairly shortly. Okay. So let's start down here. We get our tin gears, and then we need some glass. I believe I have it in the building blocks. I do. And we should be able to go something, if I open this guy up, glass in the edges with iron in the corners. So we have our machine frame. Let's get our redstone. And I will mess this up. I do every time I make this recipe. I hear you around somewhere, skeleton. And we're going to need just a bit more glass for this. Oops. So we get some glass. We get a bucket. And we get a pair of copper gears, right? Just like that. Okay. And that gets us an aqueous accumulator. I hear you around here somewhere, and it's going to irritate me, but whatever. And let's get ourselves... Let's do a pair of buckets for now. And let's suck up some water. This is the same aqueous accumulator we used down there, by the way. So we'll go 1 and 2. And we'll also yank some cobblestone out of here, just for the sake of having it. Alright, now the next thing we're going to need to make is something called a sprinkler. A sprinkler? Yes, a sprinkler. So the sprinkler, if we check it out over here, is this thing. Just a redstone torch, some iron bars, and some iron. Okay, that's not too bad. So let's get some iron, a stick, another piece of redstone. And we'll get ourselves a sprinkler. Or, well, let's first get ourselves the redstone torch. What is going on up there? Oh, I must be close enough to the surface where I can actually hear it. Okay, so we'll do that, and then this, and then some of this. Okay, that gets us a sprinkler. Awesome. Alright, let's run back out here. So if we go back to cobblestone, let's come back over into here. Let's actually do this over here, shall we? Alright, I'm going to... and then go there. Alright, what we're going to do is we're going to put this down here. We're going to put a bucket of water in there. And we're going to put a bucket of water in there. And when we put this guy down, we should see that he's filling up nicely. Awesome. And I should probably get this done before the rest of this stuff falls apart on me. So let's get ourselves a tank from Open Blocks, shall we? Now, Open Blocks tanks are pretty cool. Let's check this out over here. They're multi-blocks, actually. And we just need some glass panes and some obsidian. So we should have at least 4 obsidian laying around. And let's get ourselves 6 glass. And we just go like this. And like that. And our obsidian like that, and we get 2 tanks. Okay, and these tanks, as I said, they're multi-blocks. They're any sort of shape and size multi-blocks, actually, which is pretty good. They are not the most efficient. So put him there. You can see he is filling up with water, and now we're just going to stick our sprinkler on top. and it'll start running. And what it'll actually start doing is increasing the amount of liquid, increasing the growth rate of these things. Now, I don't remember what the range is now, but I don't think it's as good as I used to think it was. It used to be a 9x9 zone, I believe. I think they shrunk it a little bit. So let's check it out in World Domination with open blocks. Blocks, sprinkler. Fertilize crops up to 4 blocks away. Okay. So I guess that's working then. Okay, awesome. It just, the visual effect isn't syncing up apparently. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, awesome. Alright, so that's done. Let's see if all of our energetic alloy is done. And we can also add some more bone meal in there just to increase the rate of growth. The energetic alloy is in fact done. There we go. And let's put this together. Just come back up here. Right, we need more of that. Well, this'll at least need another 16. Jerk. Just one of those days, guys. Just one of those days. Okay, so let's get this out. I'll start this running for you guys, and then... what was it? Redstone, glowstone, and gold. Right? Right. There we go. That gets me some energetic alloy, and well, that'll be finished soon. However, we can get enough of these made to do some good work. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get out our Yeta wrench, and we're going to pull up our leadstone energy cell. Okay. And then we're going to move this thing. And we're actually going to cut a space into the wall. It's a bit like this. And this is going to be our future capacitor bank. Okay? So let's cut that hole in. And let's actually do this. And shift it back a space. And let's raise the roof a little bit. And this is actually going to be, in the future, my power generation room. Or at least until I move my base around. Oh, and I need my shovel back, don't I? That would be good to have. Nice and fast. Okay. So, here's what we'll do. We're going to put our capacitor bank right here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. And as you guys can see, we have quite the inventory over here to work with. Now, we're going to need some more conductive iron. So, let's get one more piece of iron and some redstone that I'm very quickly starting to run low on because, well, you know, I'm using quite a bit of it. Alright, redstone. We actually don't need that much. Let's just drop back down to 18. Okay. You're still cooking up, but you're running out of juice now. Am I certain I don't have any more conductive iron laying around somewhere? I do have some. Okay, so that should carry us over. At least until I can, you know, reconnect all these things. So let's go back into miscellaneous tech has it. And if I remember my recipes off the top of my head, it goes something like that. Oh, plenty of energy conduits to go around. Okay. So let's just come in here. We can go down. And actually, let's not do that. Let's go like that. Let's go like that. Let's come back, and then we'll go down. And we'll go like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take take our Yeta wrench. And turn that off. Are we charging over here? Yes, we are. 35,000 redstone per tick max. Always active. Input-output configuration. Input. Okay, and then let's configure this side. We'll go over, up, over. We'll go back to configuration. We'll configure this one as output. And there we go. And those are all bleeding energy out into this thing, and these guys should be recharging. Awesome. Now, if I remember something about my conduits, did I already use up all of them? Jeez. I did, didn't I? Alright, so we'll pull one of these conduits off for a second. Let's snag this one. These have a max of 640 RF per tick. So we are not even coming close to that. Each of these only generates, what, 5? 5. Yeah, we're not even close to that yet. So we actually have quite a long time before we run into that power cap. Probably well and truly after I end up switching over to a much nicer and better form of power storage, or power generation. But the nice thing about the capacitor bank is it provides us a nice big buffer of energy. Alright, so you can see we have a nice big buffer. We can store up to 35 million RF. Let's compare that to a energy cell. That can store up to 10 million RF. So we're already storing much more energy, and it can output 2,000 per tick, and these can output 35,000 RF per tick. So I think the only one that's better, right, we're at 35. The only one that's better than this right now in terms of storage is that resident cell, okay? But we're already far and away better than even the sort of mid-high tier of thermal expansion power output. So we should probably also start considering at some point in the future upgrading our energy generation. Because honestly, the amount we're generating, though it's highly efficient, just is not that much. You know, in terms of raw power output, we are not doing well at all. And let's pull that down a little bit. And let's also get this back onto our hotbar where we can actually charge our tools for us. So yeah, in terms of raw power output, we are not doing that well at all. We need to seriously step up our game in terms of the amount of power generation we're going to need. So what I've been thinking about, because you know, it's one of those things where it's like, well, you know... Alright, so that's where that wall is, now that we've found that. Oops, alright, we'll put that back there. Come back over here and put that sign back up before I forget. So I kind of don't want to go all the way over to... I don't want to go to lava power. Oh, come on. And the reason I don't is because I've done that probably every time I played. It's gotten a little predictable for me, and I'd like to try something just a little bit different for this. And I'm actually starting to think about maybe using solar power. But we aren't going to do solar power the old-fashioned way, or for that matter, even the EnderIO way. I'm thinking of using another mod. Let's throw this back up. We'll call it Magic. And what was this guy? This guy was wood. Okay. And I'm not even thinking about using the solar panels that are built into EnderIO. I want something a bit more complicated. And complicated means one of Rika's mods, and one of Rika's mods in this case means rotary craft. So I think I'm going to start getting set up for that this episode, or at least what's left of this episode. And I'm kind of opening up this room a little bit because I want it to be big enough for me to actually do what I want to do. Okay, so let's see. What's our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's not going to fly. We're going to have to open it up one more on this side. There we go. Now, of course, the biggest issue we might run into is that, of course, if we're using solar power, solar power doesn't work at night. That's the traditional problem with solar energy. So we're going to have to figure out another way to do it. Or a way to store it. But that's at least somewhat lessened by the presence of this capacitor bank, because it can store just a massive amount of power, right? I mean, the power storage this thing can hold is, frankly, huge. So, let's start working. The first thing we're going to need, I believe, is the work table from Rotary Craft. Some bricks, some HSLA, some stone slabs. Okay, well, we have the HSLA, right? That's the wrong chest. We have the HSLA. We have more than that, trust me. We can get the bricks if I come over to here, right? Yeah, we can get the bricks put together quite quickly, in fact. So let's come over here. Let's drop that in there. And those were actual stone slabs. Now, I think I have some stone slabs sitting around over here somewhere. So let's get that. Now, this thing is the special crafting table for Rotary Craft. You need it for any Rotary Craft items you want. Well, almost any Rotary Craft items that you want to make. So, let's find it again. There we go. Stone slabs. Crafting table goes on top. Let's get 3 stone. Put those along the bottom to get some stone slabs. Let's double check our recipe here. Stone slabs on either side. Some redstone, some stone slabs, some HSLA, and let's see if those bricks are done yet. 4 bricks, there we go. So let's put those together, pop those out, come back over to here, and let's get ourselves that work table. Work table, work table, hip hip hooray, okay. So now that we have a work table, we'll stick it over here, I think. Okay, work table, crafting grid. All machine must be made with the exception of the blast furnace and the work table itself. Place and use in order of crafting table. Give it a redstone sigil, click the item. Recharge spring-powered tools. Put a new spring tool on the top left. Take the problems right. Unlike a crafting table, the workbench stores its contents. Okay, awesome. Now the item we're going to want to make is known as a solar tower. So we need the mirrors, which you can't see, but it's... Oh, really? Huh. Oh, that's nice, Rika. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, never mind. We can't do that form of solar. That's unfortunate. As it turns out, the recipe changed. And I wasn't entirely aware of that. Solar distiller. Okay, that's interesting. The recipe changed, and I wasn't aware of it when it changed. So, that's going out the window. I think what we'll have to do in the meantime, and I hear you out there, buddy, I hear you, is we're going to have to work on some other Rotary Craft stuff and some other ways of generating Rotary Craft power. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to investigate that. And I'm going to come back to you guys in the next episode with a plan. So, guys, this has been Mr. Capacitor, and I will see you all in the next episode. As always, happy mining.